The unique thing about time is, regardless of what we do or do not do, December 31st will show up. The good news is, if we want this year to end up in a positively different way than last year did, we still have time. We have 6 months to make a significant dent in our financial goals. If you're like me, technically we only have 5 months because I don't count from Thanksgiving to New Year's. That is 20 weeks of possibilities. A lot can happen in 20 weeks. It may not be where we want it to be because we've lost 6 months, but it can still be a significant dent in our financial goal. If you put away $50 a week for the next 20 weeks, you are looking at $1,000. If you lost only a pound a week, because weight loss and finance, they go hand in hand for me, they're similar. If you lost only a pound a week, in 20 weeks, you are 20 pounds lighter, two dress sizes down. So 20 weeks still has a lot of potential. Now, I could give you the usual spiel about goals, but what we need is a scientifically proven way to achieve our goals. The good news about not being able to achieve our goals so far over the last 6 months is at least now we know what not to do. In the words of Tony Robbins, failure is simply a feedback on how to improve. When you learn from your failure, you've created a breakthrough. Because once you identify why you haven't been able to hit your goals, whatever the goals are, you increase your chances of achieving those goals the next 6 months. Perhaps you haven't been able to achieve your goals so far because it really isn't a goal for you. It's a good thing to have, it's a good thing to do, it's something you would love to see for yourself. But if you reflect and put it into perspective or really sit on it and think about it, it's not really a top goal for you this year. Maybe next year, maybe 2 years from now. But this year, maybe not anymore, which means your desire and your ability to actually get it done is really slim to none. Your goal has to be of priority to you now, i.e., this year. So think about your goal, reflect on it. Is this something you really need to get done this year, or is this something that can wait? Find your game changer goal. We all have so many goals. There's so many things we would love to get done and to see change in our lives, right? And sometimes the challenges is just a lot. And when your energy is split into different ways, it limits your chances of accomplishing any, right? So what you want to do is list out all those things you'd like to get done this year or by the end of the year. Take a look at each one of them and pinpoint which of these goals would really make the biggest difference for you. Which of these goals would make you the happiest by the end of the year? Which of them would make the most significant change in your life? Either way, I know this is about finances, but this applies to everything else. Which of these goals would make the biggest dent in my life, positive dent in my life by the end of the year? That is your game changer goal. And that is the goal you are to focus on for the rest of the year. Not only are you more likely to get it done because it's the goal that really matters, but you are also going to be the happiest at the end of the year because it will make the biggest difference in your life compared to your other goals. The Journal of Applied Psychology suggests that individuals with well defined goals are 40% more likely to achieve them. So your goal is to cut back expenses. Well, that's not going to work. You're going to get more specific than that. You're going to cut back your expenses by $100 every single month. That's defined. Your goal is to save more this year. That's not going to cut it. I'm going to save $5,000 by the end of the year. What a lot of CEOs and life coaches use is SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. I'm using an example here. I'd like to only spend $500 for groceries every single month. That's very specific. It's measurable because I have the receipts, I have my credit card statements, I have my bank statements to use in measuring my success at spending only 500 every month, keeping track of how much I've spent every time I go to the grocery store, gas station, or wherever, whenever I buy anything food related. I have those three items to help me track and measure my goal, my success. Achievable. This is where a lot of us need to work. Is it achievable? Can I do 500 a month in groceries for a family of five? For some of us, easy peasy. For some of us, not so much. How? Have you seen the price of dairy-free egg and dairy-free milk? But this is where a lot of us will have to do the work, because if your goal is not achievable, it's a waste of time. You're wasting your time, because we can guarantee you right now you're not going to get it done by December 31st. Remember, achievable does not necessarily mean easy. It can be achievable and difficult. The key word is it achievable? Is it realistic? Can I realistically feed a family of five with $500? Can I realistically feed a family of five with $200? Whatever your goal is. Perhaps your goal is to save 15% of your income every single month, because that's a right thing to do, and that's what you hear people say you should do. But realistically, your cost of living is not going to afford you 15% every single month. Your income is not high enough where you can shove away 15% and still pay your bills and eat. Right? So is your goal achievable? Is it realistic? Relevant, that is what we just discussed earlier. Is it still meaningful to you? Perhaps it was at the beginning of the year, but 6 months in, does it still apply? For instance, say I wanted to only spend $500 every month in groceries, but inflation, inflation is not letting up. Prices are high. Time bound. It has to be time specific. It's just like weight loss. Once again, weight loss, right? You have an upcoming event you would like to look great for. Just having that date, that timeline of whatever date it is you want to look great motivates you to work out, because you have a definite time you want to hit this goal. Same thing with our financial goals. We know right now our major time frame is end of the year. Great. But we're going to have to break it down a bit further. At the end of every month, X amount, I'm saving X amount. I'm bringing out X amount from my paycheck every single month, so that by the end of the year, I have saved X amount. Come up with an action plan for your goals. We all know this part, but here's where we're going to step further. We are going to consider the obstacles. The obstacles we found out from the first half of the year. The goal is to save 5,000 this year, but this year is a 40th birthday for me, and this year's a 10th year birthday for my child. Both will be celebrated, okay? Both has to be celebrated and recognized. So I know money has to go towards that. Hence, therefore, I'm going to be realistic with my action plan for the year, for the rest of the year. I'm not going to be planning on saving the same amount of money every single month, because I know 2 months out of those 6 months is going to have a higher expense, right? So I'm going to be mindful of that when planning my action plan, thinking of obstacles. Then it's time to take action. What does taking action look like? You have a higher chance of getting it done if it requires the least amount of energy. You would like to put away $100 every single month. I know I can't trust myself to every month make sure I have $100 left over. So I'm going to set up auto transfer so that $100 is taken out of my account once my paycheck goes in. Because if it stays in, I know based on how life has been going, I will not save $100. For most of us, our paycheck hits our account the same time every single month or every other week. If I set it for the next day, it's already in. I don't have to think about it. The fact that I don't have to think about it increases my chances of getting it done. Same with cutting back my groceries. The action plan then is, in addition to the meal plan, the action plan is, all right, I'm ordering my groceries online. Because if I'm doing it online, I can stick to the number without any embarrassment or without any anxiety, right? And so I'm ordering my groceries online. That's the action plan. We're sticking to just online groceries, and then I'll go pick it up. That way, I stick to the budget. Whatever the goal is, keep the action simple and automate whatever you can as soon as possible. If you wait to set up automation a month from now, chances are it's not going to happen. I mean, it hasn't happened the last 6 months. So you want to do it immediately while your motivation is high and while you're still in that mindset of getting it done. When we first start with our goal, when we're putting our goals together, we're so focused on the end product, on the reward. But when things get hard, our focus changes from the end result to the difficulty, the challenge we're dealing with. Dang it, I have to make this item from scratch rather than buying the pre-made biscuit. Well, you know what? $500. $500. Keep the end result in mind. The lion mindset is something I read on Reddit. It's an amazing analogy. It's the dog versus lion mindset. So with a dog, you have a bone, you throw the bone, they chase after the bone, bone after bone, they keep running and chasing after the bone, throw it high, throw it low, they'll jump around for the bone, right? But the lion, you have a bone, you throw it, the lion doesn't move. The lion is just watching you. Throw it, hey, look, a delicious looking bone, fresh, raw, not moving. You know why? Because the lion is focused on this full set of bones. Why should a lion focus on that one bone you're throwing around when he sees this huge set of bones and his focus is just, I just need to hit that and I'm getting me all those bones, right? That's a lion mindset. That's a mindset you should have towards your goal because it is guaranteed that there will be challenges and it will be hard. But keep your eyes on the goal. Don't focus on the challenge of having to jump up and down. Focus on that big bone, which is you cut back $500 from your expenses or save $5,000 by the end of the year. Follow the steps and you are guaranteed you will hit your goal, whatever the goal is, by the end of the year. And if you don't think so, let me know in the comments. I truly, truly wish you all the best because 5 months is still a great amount of times for us to get some things done. I have certain goals I as well have to accomplish by the end of the year. We've made strides, but it's a bit too slow for me. I really want to ramp it up the second half of the year. So I'm in this with you. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.